Let's wait a couple more minutes and see if some of our sisters will join, else we'll start the session.
Okay, ma'am.
Oh my god, today two Oppos are there. I have two Oppos today in my session. Alright, we have a few more of them joining.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Who was that?
I'm Samina Begum, ma'am.
Hi Samina. How was your
How,
Christmas?
what, ma'am?
How was your Christmas?
Christmas means what? I can understand.
Christmas, holidays. We
Christmas
had
holiday. Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah,
It,
yeah. Alhamdulillah, it's going well, ma'am. How are
it's
you?
going well. I'm good too. I'm good too. Nice to know that everybody is having a very good Christmas. So it's you know you get to I know it's Corona, but you still get time to spend with kids and everyone. That's a nice thing. So yeah, having a few more participants joining is good. So everybody has a pen and paper ready today, something to scribble on just in case you want. We'll be having a team activity, but this one will be a bit longer. Today we have activity on cooking. So I had previously shared a link which had some terms for cooking. So if not, I'll give you a brief overview of it, and I'll split it into groups, and you guys can cook your favorite dish. And at the end, you guys are going to come and present today's session. If one from every team would be speaking about it. So it's going to be a very interactive session, and I am so happy to see so many familiar faces here today, which is even more encouraging. So I hope we all rock today, and we have 13 participants. So what do you say, guys? Sisters, shall we start the session or wait a few more minutes? Let me know. Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am, we can start.
Yeah, I think it's better to start. And for everyone who has joined today, I just giving you a heart. Thank you so much. I know it's the holidays, but you still took your time to join, and that means a lot. So if I'm audible and if we can continue, just give me a thumbs up. There is a reaction button there, and you can just click the thumbs up. Yeah, yes means my oh sorry, Wajiha, Camila, Samina. Oh, thank you sisters. All right, I think the admin has started. Okay, now we are back. So we have a sir today. Adam sir has joined. All right. Hi sir, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Or I should say evening,
It's
right?
good evening, yes, but
Yes.
I'll take both.
It's afternoon from here, by the way.
Yes. So how was your Christmas, sir? Is it going well?
Christmas is just story here. We are at work.
All right, sir. So for today's session, I was thinking of making our sisters cook something wonderful. So I was planning on introducing them to some basic culinary terms and assign them to groups and let them, you know, cook some delicacy that they wish and present it to us at the end of the session.
Lovely.
So, yeah, shall we start, ladies? You ready?
I thought it's already
Yes,
started.
ma'am.
Oh, yes. All right. So I'll just screen share. Let me know if you're able to see the screen. All right. Just communicate with me.
Sure.
Yeah. Great. So,
Wow. One pretty looking lady.
thank you so much, sir. All right. So, is the screen share visible?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So we are going to start with a few terms so that when we get into the activity, when you are assigned to groups, you would know which terms to use. So I'll start. Let me know. Let me know if there is any kind of doubts. And for every term here, I'll be introducing a
Excuse me, ma'am.
sentence. Yeah, sure, sure.
Ma'am, little bit louder, ma'am.
Oh yeah, sure, definitely. Am I audible
Thank you,
now?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Little
Or
bit louder.
a little bit more louder? Yeah, sure, definitely.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, happy to help. All right. So the first one is bake. Okay. So bake is cook food with dry heat, such as an oven. So we all know what bake is, and I'll give an example for bake as Rohan and his grandmother had baked some cookies over their holidays, during their holidays. Now, the second term is baste. That is, pour juices or melted fat over meat as it cooks. So, an example for this is mother used a large spoon to baste the chicken. So, usually in European countries or in USA, when they are having Thanksgiving, it's a holiday there, and when they are having Thanksgiving, they use they roast turkeys. So when they roast turkey, it is a delicacy there. We are using a chicken, and inside the turkey we are stuffing some ingredients, and they are going to roast it in the oven. And when they do roast it, they are going to add some juices to it to make it more tastier. So that is what is called basting. Mother used a large spoon to baste the chicken. All right. Shall we go to the next term? All right. The next one is beat. That is to stir vigorously. Beat means to stir vigorously. Beat butter and sugar until the mixture is light. All right. Beat butter and sugar until the mixture is light. And the next one is blanch. Blanch means to immerse briefly in boiling water. Remember, these are a few cooking terms that would help you improve your vocabulary when you're going for the team activity. So, if you want to note it down, please do so. So, an example for blanch is you blanch almonds to remove their skin. So, blanching means to immerse whatever it might be, let's say potatoes, it might be meat or anything.
Spinach.
Yeah, definitely spinach. And we are going to put it in boiling water, and once you immerse it briefly in boiling water, we take the ingredient or whatever we have put in the water, and we then put it into cold water, so that it starts to it starts to be in a normal temperature, and then we remove the skin. That is blanch. The next one is blend. Mix together, often in a blend. So we will when we are making smoothies, we usually add some fruits, chia seeds, and we blend them in a blender, and at the end we get a smoothie. The next one is boil. Heat until it bubbles and starts to vapor. Now, there are a few terms like boil that we need to remember. One is simmer. We'll talk about it. So, boil means, so for example, we are here boiling the corn. So let's say I would like to boil the vegetables for 10 minutes before I cook it. And every time when you are introduced to a new word, try to make a sentence out of it in your mind. If you have any kind of trouble, please reach out to me or Adam sir. And the next one is broil. That is cooking by exposing to intense heat, such as in a broiler. So, broil is when we want to cook something very, giving intense heat. That is, we want to cook it very thoroughly. So, an example in a sentence for this would be: we had a bonfire and decided to broil the marshmallows for s'more. So marshmallow is a kind of it's a kind of sweet snack which, when heated, it will yeah, it will melt and it's very tasty to eat. So using marshmallow, people make a snack, a very sweet snack called s'more. So we had a bonfire and decided to broil the marshmallows for s'more. Now the next word is, I know it's a bit boring, bear with me. Once the team activity starts, we'll have a lot of fun, all right? Just to refresh your memory, I'm just showing you this. Next term is brown. Add heat until lightly brown in color. So brown the meat in the frying pan. So, or when we heat some onions, we want to give it a different texture. So there are different terms like this which are very correlated, which can be used. So brown, caramelize, saute. So we'll come to those terms in the upcoming words. So brown, add heat until lightly brown in color. And the next one is caramelize. Cook until coated with caramel or is caramel in color. That is, when we are cooking onions, we have that a texture which is a golden color, light golden color. Or when we add caramel to a dish and we see that type of color, so that's what they mean, like caramelize. So cook until the onion starts to it's not onion, it's onion. Cook until onion starts to caramelize. And the next term is chop. That is, cut into small pieces. I chopped the carrots neatly. These are some terms that are very familiar. The next one is cream, that is mix to form a thick paste. So we can use different sentences using cream. So cream itself is, have you ever heard of ice cream? So it's a cream. Or you can, there is another cream called when we are adding two ingredients and making it into a white paste color. So cream the butter and sugar. That is one usage. That is the apt usage for this term here. Or there is another cream which is a food item. So beat the cream until it starts to thicken. So this sentence is more apt when we are using to bake, let's say a pastry cake or something. Now the next term is cube, that is cut into small cubes. So a dish is made up of cube. Okay, paneer butter masala, something that we all know. Paneer butter masala is made up of cubed pieces
Paneer
of
cubes.
paneer.
Cottage
Yes,
cheese.
yes, exactly. Good one. The next one is deep fry. Fry in oil that covers the food completely. All right. So deep fry your what say? Give me a dish which is which we usually deep fry. I am not.
Chicken 65.
Wow, chicken 65. Yeah. So
Puri.
deep. Yeah, puri, excellent. I am not unable to see whoever is selling. Hold on, I want to see you. I am screen sharing, so I just see the screen. But thank you for whoever responded. That's really
And
good.
samosa also deep fried.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
usually deep fry samosa. Now I think you guys are liking this because this is something that all of you do on a practical basis. And if one day you have to explain how you cook to a friend, this will be very useful. This the vocabulary for these culinary terms, they are very useful when it comes to explaining to a friend of yours about a dish that you have cooked. Now I'm very interested to hear the activity also. All right. So,
When you deal with cooking, when you're teaching the ladies and you deal with cooking, of course you are in their home.
yes, that's very
Ma'am,
true. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
you told right culinary terms like you have to like the pronunciation is culinary or we can say it in other way.
Adam, sir, is it culinary or I have not checked the pronunciation correctly?
No
Okay.
problem. Culinary is correct.
Culinary is
Okay.
correct, right? Yeah.
Then
Thank you, sir.
one thing before we proceed,
Sure, sir.
she said you told. No, you said. That is the proper English.
Okay.
Said.
If you have to use told, you can say you told us that.
You told us that. Yes.
Or you said this, or you said that. If you have to use the word told, you told us that. So because that is a common mistake in our everyday English. So please take note.
Definitely, sir. I shall also keep note of this. Thank you. So, yeah, deep fry the chicken samosa in hot oil for 2 to 3 minutes. That's one example. And the next term is degrease. So, remove the excess grease or fat. So this term is usually used when we are cooking some dishes which include meat or something which is non-vegetarian dishes. So carefully degrease the pan juices and return them to the baking dish. So sometimes when you are frying something, you would notice that once we take out whatever is fried, we are left with small crumbles or small uh, fried pieces, small tiny grains. So these usually when we are baking or when we are roasting turkeys, what they do is in foreign countries they add a bit of wine and collect that, boil it a bit and collect this juice and used it for the term that we earlier heard, basting. Bastee. All right. Now the next term is dice. Cut food into very small cubes. So I don't think we need much introduction to that term. Dice the potatoes and cook them in salted water. And the
That word actually comes from the dice that you use in playing Ludo.
yes,
So that's the origin of that name. You cut it to look like those dice.
small cubes, right? Dice. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. And the next term is dollop. Casually add a shapeless blob of something. So, most of you must have seen when we come to, when we enter a dessert shop, when we enter into a pastry shop, that this kind of shape is filled on top of a small cupcakes, or if you have seen ice creams, certain ice creams at the end the cream is also shaped in the form of a dollop. So a sentence for dollop would be, my piece of pie was served with a dollop of whipped cream. Now, the next term is dredge, that is, coat with a dry ingredient before cooking. So dredge the chicken in flour and coat with salt and pepper to taste. Or you could say dredge the cutlet in flour and coat with egg before you uh, before you pan fry. That's another way to use. Now the next term would be drizzle. Drizzle means to drip or lightly pour liquid in a fine stream over something. So drizzle with honey and cook in oven for 6 minutes. So that is drizzle. I think you can see in the picture here that when we cook something, when we cook a sweet snack, or let's say when we roast something, we add the juices or we add honey or the caramelized sugar on top, like zigzag, so that it tastes a bit more better. And the next term is to dust. Lightly coat with a dry ingredient such as sugar. Do not dust the dish with powdered sugar until serving time. That is dust. We have fold. So I'm not sure if many know this term fold. That is, we are combining one mixture into another. So let's say we are combining a cheese with some dough. We are combining cheese with some dough. So fold the non-cheese half over the dough. That's another term. We'll okay, I'll go to the next term, which is fry. Cook in heated oil. That is, fry the fish in medium flame. That is one way we could use. There are different types of fry. We have pan fry, stir fry, deep fry. We'll go into those. All right. The next one is grate. Make small shreds with a grater. So have any of you seen how pasta is made? Pasta is usually grated into, uh, I think the term is lasagna. So lasagna
Yeah.
is, yeah, so we usually grate the lasagna from the dough using a grater. Or another beautiful way to know grate is cabbage. If you have made
Carrots.
yeah, even carrot also. So sometimes we grate the vegetables using a grater so that we can easily cook it. So usually
For chow
chopping,
meins we use, yeah,
yes, that's
making
correct.
chow meins.
Yes. So I think you know great. That's good. All right. Now the next term is grease. Coat a pan with fat or oil before cooking. So, so it should be grease the pan well so that the bread doesn't stick. So mostly we use a butter or oil before cooking, so that whatever, let it be vegetables or let it be any ingredient that we are putting in the pan, that does not stick and burn. The next term is grill. Cook something on a grill or with a grill pan. So grill the meat until it is crisp, or grill the sandwich so that it is crispy. The next term is grind. Crush something into a powder. So we usually grind garlic and cumin so that it adds a bit more spice to our food. So grind the herbs until they make a paste. And the next term is julienne. I am not sure how many know this word. So it is cut into short thin strips. So let's say we are cutting tomatoes or
Bell
bell
peppers.
peppers. Yeah. So we usually cut them into julienne. That's a way of cutting, which means to cut into short thin strips.
Thin strips.
So, a salad often consists of a julienne of vegetables on a serving plate. The next one is knead. That is, work into a dough with your hands. So knead the dough until it is mixed to a consistent texture. The next term is marinate, that is to soak in a marinade before cooking. So we usually marinate meat before we cook, or let's say when we are cooking, or before we start to fry fish, what we do is we
Marinate
marinate
the fish.
we marinate the fish with some powders and a paste to make
Excuse
it
me,
taste
ma'am.
better. Yes, go ahead. Yes, am I not audible?
Sorry to
Hello.
interrupt,
Yes,
ma'am.
sure. I
Ma'am, what
hear
is
you.
the difference between marinate and marinade? Because your former sentence is marinade.
All right, that is
Soak in a
something.
marinade before cooking.
Yeah, I hear you. Let me check on it and I will let you know. Sir, if you are, yeah,
Marinade is a noun. The gravy that you are going to put the meat inside is called marinade. The process of putting the meat into putting the gravy around the meat, or putting the cream or whatever around the meat, the process is
called
marinate.
marinate. Yes,
So one is a verb and the other is a
it's a
noun.
noun.
The one
Yes,
with D is a
is
noun,
a
and this one with T is a verb.
verb.
That is action word.
Yes. So marinade is a noun, and the
Yes.
process of putting marinade on a, ingredient on let's say a meat is marinate.
Yes.
Marinate. It is a
T.
verb. Yes. Thank you, sir, for
Verb.
clearing that. Yes. Now the next one is melt. Liquefy an ingredient using heat. So melt the chocolate and allow it to cool. Mince, that is to cut up or grind into very small pieces. Mince the meat up with some onion or garlic. So I understand that a few terms are very similar. So at the end, please remember those terms and ask why they are, what is the difference between them. So I would like to point out mince, dice, chop.
Chop.
So while preparing this material, I was thinking what was the difference between these, and I had done a bit of research and I understood that mince is the most smallest most smallest pieces. So mince is the very small, when we cut something very small, it's called mincing. And
Minced meat. Right,
yes,
ma'am?
minced meat. Yes, it's very small pieces, very
Tiny.
tiny pieces. Dice is a bit more bigger, and chop is usually it deals with cutting larger pieces. So it will be a bit more larger than diced vegetables. So chop is a bit more bigger vegetable. When we cut vegetables into a bit more large, and dice, it is cutting them a bit smaller, and mince is the smallest. All right. So next we'll go to the next term, which is mix. That is combining some ingredients together. And another one is pan fry. That is cook in oil in a pan. So whatever we are cooking, it is going to be under the direct heat of the pan. It's going to cook under the direct heat of the pan, which is why we have the term pan fry.
And
The next one is poach, which is to cook in or over boiling water. So, have you ever noticed how we poach potatoes in order to make this puri masala? We have this masala curry which we use to make puri, which we eat with puri. So, when we make this puri masala, we usually poach the potatoes. So, another terminology is all right,
eggs.
poach the overripe pears for shorter time, or poach the potatoes so that you get to make puri masala. So I'm using some terminology, some dishes which are very known to you, and I have not much experience in cooking. So please let me know if you have any more ideas or any more areas where this term is used in any dishes. All right. Now the next term is preheat. Turn on and allow to heat before cooking. So sometimes when we are baking things or sometimes when we are roasting things in oven, we preheat the oven to a required temperature before we start to proceed with the dish. Next one is puree, that is make a smooth substance. So here in this picture you see raspberries, if I'm not wrong. Is it raspberries, ladies?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and we make a raspberry puree.
Excuse me,
Yes,
ma'am.
sure, go ahead.
Ma'am, can you please pronounce one more time? Because
Puree.
before that I pronounced that puree. Like that one I pronounced, ma'am. That's why I'm asking.
All right. Puree. It's puree, right? Yeah, puree.
Okay, ma'am.
So
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah, definitely. I'm happy to help. So I'll just hear how Google
Puree.
hear it.
Puree.
Is it clear now? Puree.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. So if not me, then Google. If not Google, then definitely Adam, sir.
Why? I'm not better than Google. Thank you. At least
And
that's really a good one to give them the audio.
yes. And the next one is roast. That is cook by prolonged exposure to heat. So she made a roast for dinner, or we have a roasted turkey for Thanksgiving. The next term is saute, which means to fry quickly with little fat or oil. Saute the onions and pepper until they are brown or caramelized. And the next term is shred, which is to tear or cut into pieces. So shred the carrots before cooking them. Or here we see coleslaw. Is it coleslaw, ladies?
Yes, ma'am.
It's coleslaw, right? So first when I saw
Yeah.
this, I thought it was shredded.
Coleslaw.
Coleslaw.
Coleslaw. Coleslaw.
Coleslaw. All right. Coleslaw. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. The next term is simmer, that is keep heated at just below the boiling point. So simmer is when we boil, I don't know if you've noticed, boiling is when we boil water. That is, there will be lot of bubbles and the whole pan, inside the whole pan, whatever it is. So let's say it's water, it starts to boil and bubble over. So that is what the boiling point of something is. When it starts to boil over, that is when we are saying boiling. But simmer is keeping it heated just below the boiling point. So it doesn't reach that state, just below it. So we'll see a few bubbles popping up and we'll see a lot of heat coming from the pan. So that state is called simmer. The next one is steam, cooking by heating with steam from boiling water, something we all are familiar with. And the next one is steep. Steep is to soak in boiling water or another liquid. So steep the lemons for 2 weeks at room temperature. Or let's say, have you seen pickles or any fruits being put at vinegar so that
Yeah.
so that's another place where we use the term steep. So we are steeping the lemons for 2 weeks. Stew. Stew is to cook slowly in a liquid in a closed dish or pan. So some ingredients, when we want to make a specific recipe, we need to cook it slowly so that the dish gets the required flavor. So if we cook it fast, it will lose its flavor. So the meat still needs to stew. That's another process. Another term is stir. Move a spoon around in a bowl or pan. So sometimes when we are cooking something in boiling water, so let's say when we are adding some flour to it, so I don't know what I'm saying right here. So I usually make ready to make soup. So we have this nor soup powder. So I'm a person who goes to make who loves to make nor soup. So what we do is, when we heat the pan, put some water to it, and put this uh, soup powder on it, it tends to make lumps, that is
Lumps.
small thick pieces. So we give that constant stirring motion so that the lumps are not formed.
Easiest is when you put sugar in the tea, you have to stir with a teaspoon
Yes,
to
exactly.
dissolve the sugar.
Yes. Another term is stir fry, which is to fry meat or vegetables rapidly over heat while stirring. The reason why we are using stir fry is so that it does not burn. The food that we are cooking, the ingredients do not burn. And the next term is sweat. Heat slowly in a pan to cook in own juices. So sweat the onion until it is translucent. Sometimes when we cook some dish, the let's say when we are making some tomatoes, or some tomato curry, the tomato itself has its own juice, and it will use that juice itself to cook. So that is what the term means, sweat. The next one is toast. Lightly cook or brown through radiant heat. So most of you must have heard of French toast, or when we toast the
Butter
bread.
toast.
Yes, butter toast. So, and the picture you see, we are using a toaster to toast the bread. We are almost at the end. The next term is trim, that is cut off all the fat or other unwanted portions. So trim any visible fat of the meat before cooking. So there will be some unwanted portions, and we are going to trim them off even while we are, but for fish, it's called filleting, I guess. Fillet the fish. So we are taking the sharp, all the
Scales.
bones, scales and bones out of it. So just like that, for meat, we are trimming the meat.
So, what is the bone in the fish called?
Bone in the fish.
Is another
Fish bone.
vocabulary.
I am
Fish
not
bone,
sure,
yes,
sir.
that is description.
I have no idea. I'll need to
They,
check in on that.
they are called
Thorn, sir? Thorn?
they
No.
are called cartilages.
Cartilages, yes. Cartilage is a
Cartilages.
bone which can break very easily, right?
And the bones in fish are called cartilages because they
Cartilages.
break also.
Yeah, so we have actually in our body we have two cartilage that I know, that is, one is in the nose. So
Nose.
Yeah, sure.
so when someone punches you, if you have a bleeding nose,
It breaks
probably
easily.
yeah, it breaks easily. And one is in the ear. So if you look at your ear, there is a small blob in the near your earring side, if you can. So
Mm,
that bone is also called cartilage. So these are bones which can,
cartilage.
yes, these are bones which can break very easily. And the next term is whip. So that is to stir quickly in the same direction. So the egg white, we have to whip the egg white until stiff. And the next term is whisk. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Yeah, whisk. That is beat with light, rapid movement. That is, whisking the cream by hand is way better than whipping it. So you might be thinking, what is the difference between whipping and whisking? So when we whip, we are beating whatever the ingredient, so that air is also added. So when we whip, we include air, but when we whisk, we are just beating the ingredients. We are whisking the ingredients only, not including air. So let's say if you're making a souffle, or if you're making something that is, when we are baking something, an item which needs to rise a bit more, whipping is usually preferred, because when air is in the ingredient, while we used to when we make the batter, it will help rise a bit more. So
Just a reminder. Just a reminder.
yeah, sure, sir.
Fishbone actually is not wrong. Let our sisters not be confused. Fishbone is actually correct, but it is called fishbone if it is in its complete form in most cases.
Oh, in its complete form.
Yeah, when you remove all the flesh and it's still maintaining that shape, but everything is intact, they call it fishbone actually.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. All
Yeah,
right.
it's not
That's
actually all, because I just remembered I used to have a perfume called fishbone. The sign on the body is just the skeleton of fish.
perfect fish. Wow, wow. That's something new, sir. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. The next term is zest. That is, scrape off the outer peel of a citrus fruit. So zest the orange before squishing it. So that's the end. So I hope we are ready to rock and roll. If you have any doubts, please ask. Go ahead. I introduced you to a lot of terms, and I think it's okay to be confused. So if you have any kind of doubts, if I can't solve it, I'll ask Adam sir. If we both can't solve it, then Google, whatever it is.
The first thing is the words are too many for them to remember all at the same
Yes,
time.
yes. But today, when I chose this theme, culinary, I was pretty sure that they will be able to connect with these
Sure,
terms, because
sure,
they cook a
sure,
lot. Yeah.
sure.
So
They
with
did
that,
connect.
yeah.
They will, I believe, they will only remember most of them after they leave the class and be expecting a lot of questions in the group afterwards.
Sure, definitely. So,
That's for
ladies,
sure.
are you interested in cooking a dish together? So, I'll be splitting off into
Yeah.
groups, and you can discuss and come up with a dish. And one of you will have to, at the end of the session, present how you cook this certain dish. You will be representing your team. So, are you ready? Can I
Yeah.
get a thumbs up, please? And a lot of love to all the sisters out there who helped me out while we were screen sharing and was very interactive. My hearts and hearts to you. Now I will be splitting you off into groups. We have 15 people.
Ma'am, doubt.
Yes, go ahead. Yes,
Ma'am, we went through this word, right? Poach, cook in an over or boiling water.
yes,
Like you just
poach.
gave an example of boiled potatoes.
Yes,
So like
poach.
if poached eggs, we say no poached eggs. Are
Yes.
they, matlab, I mean, are they hard boiled or is it half cooked from inside?
I think poaching the eggs, it's when I think we directly put them in water, because the water is boiling. It will automatically turn into that runny shape, and before it gets too runny, they use a pan to take it out. I think that is what poaching is for eggs. But let me see. I'll check and I'll let you know.
For
Yes.
for egg, actually poaching in egg, what it means, the water must be boiling before you put that anything inside. And for egg, in most cases, you have to break the egg and just put into the boiling water. So it's like cooking the egg in a different form. Now it's open, the yolk will be there as a ball, and then the white will be there also, as if you are frying, but it's only on the water because the water is boiling the white will harden and the yolk will harden. It looks like fried, but not, but cooked.
That is very correct. All right. Shall I assign everybody to groups? Everybody ready? All right. Uh, please give me a message. Please reach out to me. Just type help and I'll be there in your group that instance. And I hope all of you come with a very delicious dish. You have time until, sir, how much time should I give them? 30 minutes or I'll give them 20. Is 20 all right?
I think 20 is much.
Yes,
These
20
are
is.
ladies. Ladies are magicians if it comes to cooking.
Yes, definitely. And I will be moving around the groups so that hopefully none of you bring up with the same dish. So I am assigning teams of, I am assigning 3 teams and hope everyone comes up with a fantastic dish. All the best, everyone. All the best, sisters. Go ahead. Hi, Sitara. Hey. Sitara, are you able to hear me?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful discussion.
You stop.
So,
We were enjoying our
That's great.
discussion and you took us off.
yeah, the thing is, we are running out of time. But before we
Yeah.
end the session, I want to hear the wonderful, delicious dishes that you all have cooked. So, from team one, may I have someone from Adam Sir's team to, speak about the dish that you have created?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
It's a
Kamala.
Okay,
plant.
Samina's sister, she's going to tell, then I'll let her tell.
Great,
Uh,
Camila.
yeah,
Anyone, I don't mind. Yes, happy to
yeah.
see both
Thank you.
of them volunteering. Yes.
Well done, Camila. Well done, Camila. Allow her to talk. Allow Samina's
Yeah.
sister Samina to talk.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
sir.
We plan to prepare the urdal vada. So for that, we have to soak the urdal to make it soft, and then other side we have to chop the other ingredients, and we have to make the urdal as a sorry. We have to
Grind.
grind the grind the
Yeah.
urdal to become as a paste. After that, we have to mix all the ingredients with the urdal paste, and we have
Sister,
to
list out the ingredients we are going to add.
yeah, we have to chop the onion, green chili, curry leaf, and we have to add the coriander leaf. And this we have to chop, and we have to mix in the paste. That is urdal paste. Is all these
Mix and
ingredients
combine together.
mixed combined together. Mixing all these ingredients. Along with that, we have to mix pepper and then curcumin seed. That is seed.
Cumin seed.
Cumin seed and salt. We have to mix everything and make we have to
Our
preheat
batter, yeah, our batter is ready now.
the batter is ready now, and we have to preheat the oil, and we
Yeah,
have to make some dollop. Is a
That
yeah,
correct
roll
ma'am?
out.
shape.
Roll
Ah,
Yeah, shape.
dollop. What how to pronounce that?
Yeah, yeah, correct, sister. You're
dollop.
telling it. Dollar.
Dollop. Dollop.
Dollop, and then we have to put that in the deep fried sorry, preheat
Yeah.
oil, and we have to deep fry until to become as a
Crisp,
crispy and then light golden
crunch.
crispy
Yeah.
and
Wow.
crunch. And now
Wow. That's
our urdal
beautiful.
rice ready, ma'am.
Thank you, Samina.
I'm
And thank
serving.
you, Kamila.
I'm,
Adam, sir, your team has
I'm
performed
serving to our
fantastically.
all team members to this, ma'am.
I,
Do you
I
And
hear
do
told
that
let us
side,
know
sir?
how.
I
But
told you my team are champions.
Yes, definitely.
thank,
I
thank you,
completely agree
sir.
on that.
Yeah, thank you, sir. You guided very nicely.
Yeah.
All right. May I have the next team to speak about the dish that you have prepared? We are running out of time, so please speak a bit fast. I would appreciate it.
So hi ma'am.
Ma'am, shall I start?
Both of
Hi.
you can come to a conclusion and anyone can start. All right, Zabrut, you start. Hello, Zamrut. Am I audible? I think they must be texting each other, deciding
Yes,
whom to
yes,
speak.
you
Yes
are.
ma'am.
Ma'am, shall I, Wajiha?
All
Please
right,
go ahead.
Wajiha. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. First, we have decided to do a carrot halwa.
All right.
I have to take some fresh carrots After that, we have to grate it. Then I have to boil the milk. After the milk caramelized, add the grated carrots in it. Then we have to stir it and keep the dish in simmer state. Again, add a pinch of, again add a half cup of sugar in it. That's it, ma'am.
Wow. Adam sir, I cannot point out any kind of errors in the way she said it. You said it very correctly. Is it
Ma'am,
Wajiha?
not only me,
Correct.
myself, Wajiha and Sumya sister. We both
Yes.
joined.
Thank you so much, Wajiha and Sumaya.
The,
You
the,
spoke.
the only thing is we decided to prepare this. That is the first statement.
Yes.
We decided to prepare, then you give the name of your
Dish. Yes. All right. Thank you, Sumaya and Wajiha. Zamrut, over to you and the rest. Yasmin, right? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
So myself and Yasmin, ma'am, we have decided to make puri and potato masala. Okay. So first we take some wheat flour, add some salt and water, and knead the dough. And let it rest for some time to soften. Let it get together, no, stick together and soften. And then after that, after some time, we make small balls out of it as the size we need, no. Whatever size we want, to that size we make small balls, and then we start flattening the doughs. By the side, heat a kadai for deep frying, no, heat a kadai for deep frying. And then when the temperature is right, we check the temperature by dropping a small portion of the dough and see if it rises immediately. If it rises immediately, it means the temperature is in the it has come to the correct temperature. So then we start frying the puris, drop the flattened dough, and then turn it. I think it's correct.
Yes.
Once it puffs, no, one side when it puffs a little, then turn to the other side, and then press little by little so that it puffs much more. So once it is cooked, just remove it and then start put the next puri. Okay, so this is how we make puris. And as far as potato masala, just boil some potatoes, how much ever you need. Boil some potatoes and keep them aside. Cut some onions, chop some onions, and then heat a kadai for seasoning. Okay, to season the potato
Oil
masala,
potato.
add some oil, and then mustard seeds, curry leaves, urad dal and chana dal are optional. It's our wish. And then add the onions and start seasoning. So I think it should not be. I think the word is caramelize. The color should change to light pink or something like that. So once it's caramelized, then you add the potatoes in it, the boiled potatoes, peel the skin off, and then add those potatoes, mash it. Okay, mash the potatoes and then add it and add some salt, turmeric powder, and asafoetida can also be added, and mix it well to the consistency that we want. Taste it for salt, and maybe you can sprinkle some coriander leaves at the end. So here is our puri and potato masala.
This is the first time that every participant in this session, every sister has spoke and they have spoken so well. And I just
excellent.
want, yes, I just want to give a heart. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for
Excellent.
all the participation. I know we took
Welcome,
another
ma'am.
additional 15 minutes of your
Thank you, ma'am.
time, but thank you. You are doing excellent.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you for making us talk. Thank
I'm
you for
very
making
happy
us
to.
talk.
My success is how you speak. So to hear you speak so well, I feel so happy. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you,
you, ma'am.
sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, Said sir, shall we end the session for today?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Thank
Thank
you,
you all.
everyone.
Have
Thank
a
you.
good
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
All right.
Ma'am.
Ending the session. Hope you all have a nice weekend. Bye bye.